Welcome to Synthaholics. This is your host, David Duncan, and with me is...
Oh, David, I'm Brian. Today we're going to be talking about Gladiator. We had to miss a week, which is okay because we're not professionals here. Sometimes things come up and we can't always podcast at the time we need to.
Yeah, I had COVID, still getting over COVID. I'm negative,
Yeah,
but I still sound pretty sick, but I'm here.
it made
I'm alive.
it hard to talk.
Well, yeah, it was really hard to talk last Saturday. Uh, Brian, I'm surprised you're not wearing a Shirley Temple wig today.
What?
Well,
Shirley Temple wig? What's that? Oh, from her Rings of Power. Rings of Power. Does she have a? Wait,
No,
Shirley Temple's a
Shirley Temple's an actress from like the 40s or 50s or whatever. She's a little girl.
Oh, predates me, man.
She's got curly hair. Well, it's just because the guy.
Is that what the drink is called after?
Yeah.
No, you'd go to like a restaurant and, as a kid, and you'd be like, "Can I have a Shirley Temple?" And then they'd give you like some. It was like red. What was it? Is it like cherry something?
I never made it. I don't know what a Shirley Temple is made of.
You're like the drink guy. You should know what's going on.
Yeah, I am the drink guy, but I've never made a Shirley Temple, so I can't tell you. But
Those were good. I wonder if it was just like, younger, like kid me version really loved them. Like, would adult me love them as well?
Well, you see,
what were they made out of?
The reason I don't know. I just said.
I know.
I've said like 4 times. I
Stop
don't know.
asking that. I don't know the answer.
I've never made one.
You know what they're made out of though? Like we need to.
They're made out of liquid. Okay,
Okay.
that's it's
That clears it up.
Yep, there's lots of liquids. Anyway, you wore the wig when we talked about Rings of Power season 2, and you didn't even see Sauron put on a wig. But in Gladiator, we had that dude put on that curly hair wig. So that's
the orange one.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I was waiting for Brian to whip out a Shirley Temple wig so he.
You know what? I didn't. That didn't even register as like an option when I was watching it. I did notice the orange wig. I was like, boy, that doesn't look good. But I didn't think to like, hey, I should get an orange curly wig and wear it.
Well, I mean, that's where my mind went immediately. Oh, I bet Brian's gonna have a wig. If
Every time we see a wig now, it's just gonna be like Brian should have that one next time we podcast.
100%. Brian's gonna be the wig guy.
Well, if it isn't obvious already, we're doing Gladiator, David. The great movie Gladiator from 2000.
Yeah, Russell Crowe and in his prime, and
and Joaquin Phoenix not in his prime.
Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, he's in his prime compared to Joker, because I mean, his body was pretty messed up in the Joker.
That's true. Well, he kind of just looked like a kid, you know.
It's funny how young both of them looked in this film.
They versus like Russell Crowe doesn't look like too different.
Russell Crowe looks. Did you watch Thor: Love and Thunder? I mean, Russell Crowe looks nothing like Russell Crowe used to look like.
That's true. I don't know. He felt more recognizable to me than Joaquin Phoenix did.
I don't know. To me, Joaquin Phoenix is more recognizable, but
really?
Tomato. And you also have face blindness, so.
All right. Well, I wish you didn't bring that up right now. I am sensitive about that topic.
What about wig blindness? Do you got?
I don't have wig blindness. I definitely noticed there was wigs. They also had that. I can never remember that guy, the black guy that's in Gladiator. That guy, he's great. I love that guy. Everything he's in, he does a great job in. He's in a Marvel movie too. I don't remember which one, but he's in one of them.
Yeah, probably. He's a really good actor.
Is it Guardians of the Galaxy? Is he in Guardians of the Galaxy? Or is it Thor?
Yeah. Who? Yeah, he's in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, you know the guy.
Yeah.
The Who guy.
Yeah, the guy says who? Yeah, who at the beginning when Star-Lord dances into the thing, and he's like, I'm Star-Lord. And the guy's like, who? Yeah, that's a great actor. I like him. I don't know his name.
He's got a I think it's a difficult name to pronounce. It's like one of those kind of names. Either way, he's fantastic. Everything he's in, I've like
this guy. He's
thoroughly
great.
Enjoyed. Yeah, he's right there.
Like
he's right there, or right there,
right on my shoulder.
Yeah, wherever he is. I hope he's doing good in real life. David, Gladiator. This is supposed to be like a classic. Mm-hmm. What do you think about Gladiator before we dive in? What are you gonna give your rating on good old Gladiator, David?
So I think I'd go ahead and give Gladiator a good like 8.59. It's a really good, solid film. Excuse me.
Okay, it's okay. Let it out.
But it's really well done. The beginning is super slow burn, which I can see it turning some people off, and I don't like looking back. I mean, I remember all this stuff happening, but I don't remember it feeling as much as a slow burn. But then again, in 2000, everything was so different. So I mean, like it felt just like a movie, back in 2000. How about you, Ryan? What'd you give this movie?
I have to agree with you, David. So, for Gladiator, in this world we live, first of all, there's a lot to break down here. Ridley Scott, what happened to this guy? He used to make like great movies, and now it seems like every time Ridley Scott makes a movie, God flips a coin, and it might be good or it might be terrible. I don't know why he used to be able to make like these amazing movies, but now he doesn't. Most of the time, it feels like he doesn't make great movies anymore. That's besides the point. Gladiator, I agree with you. I'm going to give it a 9. I don't think if this movie came out nowadays, I don't think it would be nearly received as well as it was back in 2000 because, like you mentioned, the world is very different now. Everything is very fast-paced. This is not a fast-paced movie. It slow burns up for 2 hours and 30 minutes before, the final craziness happens. That said, though, definitely a 9 out of 10. This is I've never seen Gladiator prior to podcasting on this, and I think this is this is in the top 3 best things I've watched this year. So that's that's high level Gladiator. One thing I'll say about the music though, I was when you're listening to the soundtrack for this movie, I kept thinking I've never seen Gladiator before. So I'm watching the movie and I'm hearing the soundtrack. And I was like, you know what? This sounds a lot like Pirates of the Caribbean. So I looked up that Hans Zimmer did this music. He also did Pirates of the Caribbean, and there was a song in Gladiator that I swear sounds like pretty much like the same thing as like he's a pirate. It sounds exactly like that, but like more like medievally. So if anybody ever goes back and you watch this movie, listen for that sound or that song. It does it like I think I heard it 3 times, maybe 2, but it's definitely in there, and there's notes of it in there. Yeah, so that's my fun fact.
Hans Zimmer, did he do the Pirates of the Caribbean music?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so it's the same composer. So I mean, you've got some same.
He just stole something he did. Well, these movies kind of came out around the same time. I think Pirates of the Caribbean was at like 2002, 2003.
Something like. I mean, there's a bunch of them.
So it's within a couple of years of one another.
But my friend Klingon Popware Jen, she just jumped in and brought a party of 13 with her. So thank you for joining us.
Hello.
We're podcasting on Gladiator today. So for those who've just now tuned in. But yeah. But yeah, so we have high praise. We kind of just got started. We both gave the movie around a 9 out of 10, and now we're kind of just discussing the overall parts of the film. And Brian kind of led with the music. So you said you'd never seen this movie before podcasting on it. That's incredible. Like how you've just never seen the film.
It's just kind of never been something. The only reason I brought this one up to podcast on is because Gladiator 2 is coming out. But now that I've watched Gladiator 1, I don't think Gladiator 2 is going to be good at all.
Well, the plot of Gladiator 2 doesn't make much sense from what I've gleaned from it. Is that the main character is Lucius, which is the kid from Gladiator 1.
Yeah.
And like the trailer makes it look like the kid doesn't know who his parents are and he was like separated and raised somewhere else. And I'm like, how? You grew up in Rome with your mother and your uncle was killed in front of your eyes by your father? How do you not know this?
Because it's a cash grab. I guarantee you, I don't know how this. I don't even. Is this movie out? I think it can't. I think Gladiator. Well, oh man. Okay, we're getting into Gladiator 2, but like, I gotta get this out. I have to get this out because I think I don't know who directs this movie. It's probably Ridley Scott. I bet you this movie. I bet you it's trash. I don't know. I watched the first trailer and I didn't I watched the first trailer of Gladiator 2 last night because I never watched Gladiator 1, so I didn't want to watch the trailer for Gladiator 2. I watched it. It just doesn't look good to me. I think this is just straight up cash grab. I think the story's probably written by AI.
Well, it's really weird because Ridley Scott, like you said, it's like the gods flip a coin when Ridley Scott makes a movie. It's either a classic or it's really bad. I really wanted to see the Napoleon movie that Ridley Scott put out last year. Everywhere I saw it, everyone said it was terrible. So maybe if it's a coin flip, maybe this one will actually be good.
Oh,
because
because the last one was bad?
yeah, because his last movie was bad. So we're playing the odds.
Yeah,
Maybe.
sure. I mean, maybe it'll be good. I don't know. Are reviews or anything out for this? I don't know if it's out yet.
I honestly haven't looked. I mean, I think reviews are coming out, but I haven't listened to any because I don't want to be clouded before seeing the film myself.
Yeah.
But I am kind of excited to see Gladiator 2 after I saw the trailer for it, because they showed the naval combat that happens inside the gladiator pits. And that's something that legit happened. They would flood the thing.
Really?
And yes, they would do naval battles.
Oh man, I saw that in the trailer. That was immediate like red flag to me. I was like, how is it? They have like full scale ships inside here.
Yes,
How'd they? Really? That was a thing? Oh, that's pretty dope.
That was a thing, and that's incredible that they're actually doing that inside of Gladiator 2. But the thing is, I'd never seen a Gladiator 2 commercial until it went out of my way, again, like you, last night, to watch one. This movie is not being like marketed at all. Like, I saw trailers for the Ridley Scott Napoleon movie all the time. Like
was a big push for that one.
Like a year before that movie came out, I remember seeing advertisements and trailers for it.
And then it came out and it just like fell flat. I mean, I was excited for it because I'm a big fan of Napoleon, but like after the movie came out, I was just like, I haven't seen one good thing about it. All I've heard is like it just shows like Napoleon's weaknesses the whole time. It's like Napoleon is great for reasons. He's not just like a random guy that just failed all the time. He was very powerful. But I don't know. I didn't watch the movie, so I don't know. We don't have to get into that. Either way, Gladiator 2 is probably not going to be good. I think it'll probably be written by AI. I just don't see how it's. I don't know. I mean, I like even watching the trailer. It was like the trailer begins now. It's like, well, I thank God it told me, because I was going to get confused when I clicked on the Gladiator 2 trailer and it tells me that the trailer's about to start.
Well, I feel like that's a trend in trailers recently, because they have teaser trailers for the trailers now. So now
and
it's
then
like
the trailer comes out,
so they show a teaser for the trailer in front of the trailer, then they go, now the real trailer's starting, and I'm like, well, if you didn't show the dumb teaser before, you wouldn't have to tell me the actual trailer's starting now. You just show me the trailer.
I feel like that's why Gladiator 1, if it came out now, would be bad, just because the way this like movie system works now is just like not built for like an actual movie where people have to like sit down and pay attention.
Yeah, it is a long movie. It's just shy of 3 hours. But it's a well done movie. I mean, it's got a little bit of a slow burn with establishing the relationship between Maximus and the first emperor, and then Joaquin Phoenix is new emperor. So we got all that kind of dynamic, and that kind of takes a while to play out. So
could the beginning be trimmed down?
I think the beginning could have been trimmed down for sure, because I mean, like, there's good character development, sure, absolutely, but like the only important really thing is that we established that Maximus is a military leader. We established that Claudius, or
you're gonna have to. You know how many names? I know who you're talking about. I don't know the name.
Yeah.
I know Maximus is really the only name I can tell you. If you say like Kid, I know who that is. Like,
Kid. Yeah.
If you say big, strong, huge guy that fights with Maximus, I know who that is.
Oh, he's great. He's probably my favorite character in the entire film.
I know who that is.
Yeah, the big, strong guy. He's my favorite character in the entire film.
Yeah, and then he gets killed at the end, unfortunately.
No.
Which is like, it's even nice where like characters actually like die. Like they have their arc, and their arc ends. Like movies and TV shows, just the main character feels like they're invincible. When I'm watching this, obviously you don't want to just like kill the main character in the movie, but it never felt like Maximus was ever like fully safe with what he was doing. It always felt like there was like a threat. When you watch stuff nowadays, it feels like it's like these characters are like invincible. Nothing's ever bad is going to happen to them. Yeah. So I like that as well, where it actually like it feels like there's stakes to what's going on. A lot of times it doesn't feel like there's stakes anymore, which is nice. So I like that.
I also feel like maybe the beginning went on a little bit longer because they wanted to have more stuff for Richard Harris to do, who played Marcus Aurelius. So the first emperor, because I mean he's kind of like a big actor. He was a big actor. He's since passed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I
could be.
I kind of feel like they wanted just to give more stuff for him to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, the opening battle scene was fantastic, and it kind of like set up Maximus's character. I don't think anything from the battle should have been cut. I feel like all the stuff between the battle ending and him being
Access into the gladiator ring.
and then Maximus, no, not even been scintillating between the end of the fight and Maximus being sentenced to death by Commodus. Is that part could have been snipped up a little bit, but I mean it's really not that bad of a film, and like it's great.
Well, we're sitting here giving 9s. Like,
Yeah,
this is not like we're getting like it can be like buttoned up here, buttoned up here. Like, you or I probably could make this better movie. Like, this already it's fantastic movie. We're like nitpicking here when we're saying things like, oh, I could, shorten this up or make this a little bit different or whatever. It's like, this is still leagues better than like anything that I've seen recently. Like, there's very few things that can match like how good this movie is now compared to stuff that we watch now.
And the CG holds up remarkably well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple things that stick out. Like some of like
a lot of stuff that feels practical.
Yeah, but I mean, most of the stuff at CG is like set extensions, like the Colosseum, of course, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Although the battle sequence, they had like those really far away explosions, and those are 100% CG because they were like they almost like it's just weird. Like the more I look at the special effects and watch Corridor Crew and watch like how special effects are made and learn how special effects are made, learning CG myself in my free time, you start to notice things a lot more often. So like these little background, they're like almost like little sprites. They just kind of put in to make explosions in the background instead of like a full rendered, explosion. It's
it's like tastefully done, where it definitely is showing a little bit of its age, but it's not to a point where it's like, oh my, there's stuff that's like, oh wow, that was not good.
I think
this is fine.
I think the thing that shows its age the most is that at least from a cinematography point of view, is that all the standard speed to slow-mo shots are so jarring. Whenever they try to make like stuff that was shot at 24 frames a second in slow-mo, you can just tell. It was like, oh, we want to make this more epic, so we're gonna slow-mo it. But slow-mo 24 frames a second just doesn't look very good. At least with the technology they had back then. Normally, when you shoot,
they're limited.
Usually when you shoot slow-mo, you got to shoot at a much higher frame rate so that everything looks good while it's
more smooth.
Yeah, while it's moving slow. So, I mean this movie came out in 2000. The Matrix came out in 1999, which was kind of like the movie that kind of like reinvented slow-mo. So, I mean, like, depending on the shooting schedule and how long this movie took to complete, they could have been being shot at the same time. So this movie just probably didn't prioritize, like, they probably just, like, Ridley Scott probably decided on, we need to make this shot slow-mo after the fact instead of during the shooting.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. And I mean, even if they were, I mean, there was still brand new technology for the Matrix. I don't know, they might have not even been like knowing that the Matrix was happening.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, the Matrix pioneered a lot of slow-mo technology for making that look amazing. So
it sure did. I'm just sad that he died at the end. I didn't know he died at the end. So I thought, like, when he ggets stabbed, like right at the end when he goes out to have the 1v1 at the end of the movie, I was like, oh great, like, is he just gonna die? Because to me, not thinking he was safe the entire movie, I was like, he's just gonna go up there and die. But then there's this fight and it's tense. And he ends up winning, and he starts moving around a little bit, where he's like, you know what, I'm gonna be okay. And then he just falls, just falls, and he dies.
Well,
you can go to them.
Well, when I first saw the movie, so I saw this movie in the theater in the year 2000, and my father took me, and we walked into the wrong movie theater.
Nice, perfect.
Yes.
What were you going to see?
Gladiator. And
no, what'd you go see though?
Gladiator, but we saw the end of Gladiator. It's like, oh wait, I think we're in the wrong movie theater. Spoilers. So yeah, I saw the end of Gladiator before I saw the beginning of Gladiator, and it was like, oh wait, I think we're in the wrong theater, so we went and found the right one and saw the movie from the beginning.
Sure.
But
one thing I wanted to bring up as I was watching it is Maximus's family gets like crucified and burned and they die.
And the son gets trampled.
Yeah,
by the horse.
That, to me, like they didn't really super dive into that, but it felt really impactful to his story. Like it felt, I don't know how, like it just felt like it was really well done because it like Maximus, like that drove him the entire time. Everything he was doing was for that, and it was like a constant reminder. But they didn't like really get into much detail. You just kind of like knew it happened and knew it was tragic for him, and he like acted that through where like they didn't have to show it. We knew it was like impactful for him. I don't know if that would have been a decision they make nowadays. I feel like they probably would have shown you know the people getting burned or getting crucified or whatever, but they didn't really show that in this, and it still felt really impactful, which I thought was pretty cool. That was one takeaway that I had that I wanted to bring up as well.
I mean, the runtime is already pretty long. It would have been another couple.
Yeah,
of minutes.
I mean, it'd be in the 3 hour. It would be past 3 hours if they got into it. But like even with that time, there was still stuff they could have explored. They didn't. Thank God they didn't make this like Gladiator 2 or everything. Like this, I like that. It's just like this is what it is. You go see it start to finish. You get your full story. It's not going to turn into like a trilogy, or it's not going to get turned into like a reboot.
It could be a trilogy.
Thing. Now I guess there is Gladiator 2. I don't know.
Well, it's every time like I saw, the only thing I saw about Gladiator 2 was that like a banner, and I just thought it was a joke. Because I mean, like, why would you make a sequel to Gladiator? Like what?
There's no. Where do you go?
Where
like
do
that's
you go?
why I watched. I don't really have a desire to watch Gladiator 2. I know we were just talking before we started. It's like, oh, I don't know if I'll go see Gladiator 2. I'm cool with never seeing it. So like that's why I was like, I have thoughts. I don't need to see it. I have my story. I have my full story. And I'm cool with it because I'm pretty sure if they add anything out, I just don't see a world where it's like, oh, this is still a good movie. I just like I don't see it.
I mean, I wouldn't mind watching it once it comes to streaming, but I don't think I'm going to go rush out to the movie theater to go see Gladiator 2.
We can see it when it streams. I just don't want I don't need to rush to go see it. Like I just,
especially with Ridley Scott's bumpy track record lately.
He's always been he's always had like bumpy track. I don't understand that guy. It just doesn't.
Well, it's just like Prometheus was terrible, and then the Prometheus 2 was terrible, whatever that was called.
Yeah, I don't know what he's. How old is he now? He's got to be an older guy.
I don't know. It's like in his teens or something like that.
He's probably 17 or 18 now.
Yeah. Plus or minus 60 years, something like that.
He's turning 19 this year.
He's turning 19 for the 67th time.
He's going there, man. He's going there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is with Gladiator is just kind of, if you've watched Gladiator and you like movies, it's just an experience. You just go, you enjoy it, you live it. You don't. There's not a ton to like digest to talk about because you just go and experience it. Now, I know we keep comparing it to newer stuff, but there's a big difference between what movies used to be and what movies are now. Everything has to be fast paced compared to when you could do slow burn stuff. So in these slow burn movies, you just go and experience it, and then at the end is where you have your big explosion type of thing. So it's hard to really like review stuff deeply in that, at least for me, because you just enjoy it, man. You just enjoy it.
Well, I decided to look into the history of the film because it is not very historical, even though it's based on the Roman Empire.
It feels historical, but it's not.
Well, I mean, you've got people who actually existed. We've got Marcus Aurelius, who really existed. We've got Commodus, who really existed. Lucia, who really existed. It seems like it's just like a trend for most of the time when you make a movie that is a historical film, you like make up a character to be like the main character, or you like combine multiple real characters into a character for so the movie will be more exciting or whatever. So Maximus is a fictional character, and I actually watched the History Buffs YouTube channel this morning, and so a lot of my information comes from that because I was looking up just trying to find some information
about it
that I could just get in my head real quick to make this more instead of just like, oh yeah, it was a good movie. I give some historical context behind the movie. So most of my information is coming from History Buffs. So thank you, History Buffs, for making a great video. You should check that out also after, because he makes really great movie. Shows.
I will check it out
on on historical movies. and talks about the actual history of them. So those two people real. Maximus not real. So that means Marcus Aurelius never was going to give the kingdom to Maximus. And according to history buffs, that Commodus was like co-emperor like from his teens on. So like it was like there was never any question that he was going to be the successor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's no question.
Oh.
It is true that Commodus did like to fight in the arena, and he brought the games back in a big way. And
he was an entertainer.
And he would sabotage people he fought, just like he did with Maximus. He would wound them before the
That's
arena
crazy.
battle.
People want to go see that. That's wild. That like people get frustrated when like somebody says something controversial at like a sporting event. Can you imagine going back in time and you're just like, I'm gonna go buy tickets to go watch people get murdered by like a lion? Like that's crazy compared to like where we are now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
People are too sensitive, I guess. Sometimes.
I mean, we probably, if we lived, I mean, I can say like right now, I wouldn't want to watch it. Like, I wouldn't want to go see like people get killed. But like, if I lived back then, I'd probably be dying to go. Like,
absolutely, absolutely, because there's no TV, there's no internet, there's no movies. I mean, like you got plays, but I mean, like, I don't even know how good.
You want to go see some action? That's where you got to go.
Yeah, if you want to see something exciting and action packed, especially since they flooded the thing and put naval ships in it, that would have been. I mean,
how did that even? Is that? Are you sure that's real? Yes. How does that even feel real?
It's something that happened. It's a historical fact that they did that.
That's. Oh man, that's
bonkers.
Which is wild.
Which is why I'm glad they're doing it in Gladiator 2. That's like half the reason I want to watch Gladiator 2 is because they
just
showed
for that like 3 minutes.
They showed the naval scenes. I'm like, yes, they're finally doing it. They're doing the crazy thing.
This is what I wanted in Gladiator 1.
Yeah, they didn't have the water simulations ready in Gladiator 1.
They'd have to do it for real,
which would also probably cost a whole lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, just getting that much water together in like an area that you could fill with something that looked like a coliseum would probably cost a couple million.
I mean, Waterworld was one of the most expensive movies ever made at its time. That movie also had a lot of water.
And it has water in the title.
Yeah. Well, for some reason, water is really, really expensive.
I mean, moving around water is expensive.
Yeah.
Unless you like film on location, it is expensive to move around water, and it's heavy.
Well, what if we just bring the Coliseum to the ocean?
We could do that. We'll just have to pick it up. We'll just put it on one of those like trucks that like move houses that are like really long, and they move like those like movable houses.
Yeah, it sounds
we'll
about
just do that with the Coliseum. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, no, not a big deal. Yeah.
Not a big deal. It is cool that a lot of like the Roman stuff is like really well documented. Unlike the Vikings, where they just didn't write anything down, they just kind of lived day by day. Romans were like meticulously with what they like marked down as like history. It's cool that they did that. The Greeks were like that too. They wrote a lot of stuff down as well.
Well, yeah, I mean they were like the civilized group of people of their time, whereas like the Vikings are technically barbarians, so it's just like
Yeah, but like they have cool lore. I don't know if
they do have cool lore.
To call it lore. They have like Loki and stuff. Like that's cool. Like the Roman people are like, oh, they I'm sure they have like there's some gladiators that I'm sure. There's one gladiator. I read this is totally off track, but it's related to gladiators. There was one gladiator that like specialized in like killing animals. Like that was like his thing. So they would like book this guy into like the gladiator pit, and they would just have him fight animals, and that was like his thing. He didn't fight humans; he just fought animals. I don't know. I thought that was a cool. I wonder who the best gladiator of all time was. It was Marcus. It was Marcus Aurelius. One question I have though. I have a question about this movie.
Yeah.
When Maximus gets put into like slavery right at the gate, and they're like branding people, like you get a red dot like on your clothes. Why didn't he fight? I don't understand. Like I didn't understand when it was happening. Why wasn't he fighting? Was he just like he felt too good for this? Like I don't understand what was going on there.
He's just trying to show resistance because he didn't want to do what anyone wanted. I mean, he came from like he was a general. He got to do what he wanted. He ordered people around, so he was just kind of like trying to exert his own power. But I think that was also
Yeah,
another
but
thing.
nothing came of that. He just
Yeah,
ended
it
up
didn't.
like
Yeah, it didn't really go anywhere. It was kind of a strange.
he just didn't fight, and then got lumped in with all the people that were fighting anyway,
And
and
then he
then
had
they
to
went
fight.
out there and all
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
fought together. So it's
yeah.
like him
So
not fighting didn't do anything.
yeah, it didn't really do
And then he was
anything.
like tattooing himself on like a rock.
Well, no. He was using the rock to scrape off his tattoo because his tattoo, made it showed
Oh,
that
okay,
it
okay,
showed
totally
he
missed
was
that part.
it showed he was part of the Legion.
See, it proves that I didn't understand what was going on there.
Yeah. So he was trying to remove it with the rock, just scraping his skin off and just making the tattoo go away. Um, so
I'm glad. I'm glad he
yeah,
scraped that off.
I
Dude.
think
I'm
another
glad he scraped
thing.
that off.
I think another thing they kind of like messed up on a little bit was that gladiators were like pampered, like they were like prized animals, basically. Like they were super well taken care of. And I think
You'd have to be
well, yeah, because I mean they
fighting
weren't.
to the death.
Yeah, and then they were supposed to, and the better your gladiators were, the more money you made. So I mean, like they kind of didn't show that as well. I think
Portray it.
Spartacus, the TV show Spartacus, actually did a better job showing like, the
They were like celebrities or whatever.
sort
Not,
of.
like,
But I mean, they got pampered and more. But I mean, there's also like Spartacus is also heavily fictionalized and whatnot. But I mean, I really liked Spartacus.
well,
I think it's
a
a good
lot of
show.
it is when they're in a movie when you get like hit with a sword or whatever. It feels like a mild inconvenience because if they actually accurately portrayed you like getting slashed in the arm or something, the whole movie would be over. That'd be like that character is just that they'd be out of the fight. If you get like your arm cut like down your whole forearm, that you're done. Like you don't that's it. That's it for you. And if you were to do that in a movie, the whole movie the character would just be out of commission. So they would have to be taken care of well. If you weren't, you'd have one fight, one cut, done. You just
Yeah.
can't continue.
Well, especially with how bad, like infection and all that kind of stuff was back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, because all you need is like a little like that, just him at the end getting that little prick or whatever, like that. Or, I mean, little prick. That was like a killing blow. Is pretty much what
Well, yeah,
happened.
I mean, he was just bleeding out for the rest of the time.
Yeah, so, like just small stuff like that. Almost no movie does this, so I've never really like docked points against it. But like, if you were actually to accurately portray like getting injured in a movie, most movies would just be over like immediately.
Hmm. And then Commodus, he did not die in the gladiator pit. He was conspired against, and
Did he get poisoned?
he was strangled to death in a bathtub.
Who
So
strangled him? Was it a girl?
I don't recall. But
Oh,
he was
okay.
strangled to death in a bathtub, and that's how Commodus died. So
He did a great job, like
they
being a villain.
oh yeah, he's so good. Joaquin Phoenix is so good
Yeah,
at being
Joaquin Phoenix is like almost too good at being like a villain. Everything he's in, he's like really good at being
he's
bad.
so good at being a creepy little man.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. I mean, little. I don't know if he's little, but like he's definitely good at being creepy.
Yeah, like he
Like
definitely
unpredictable creepy. You know, he's got like that unpredictable creepy vibe.
chaotic creepy.
Yeah, it's chaotic creepy.
He's not neutral creepy. He's not lawful creepy. He's chaotic
He's
creepy.
chaotic creepy. Joaquin Phoenix is chaotic creepy.
I mean, he's chaotic creepy as Commodus. He's chaotic creepy as the Joker. I mean, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know if he's chaotic creepy in Joker 2 though.
Yeah, I never saw that.
Haven't seen it.
Don't plan
Yeah,
on seeing
haven't
it.
seen it. Yep, no. This one was good enough.
Yep.
So, David, I would recommend anybody who likes movies, if you haven't seen it yet, you should see Gladiator because this is like I can't believe I've gone my whole life without like seeing this movie.
I'm dumbfounded too. I can't believe you
Yeah,
hadn't seen it before. I mean,
man.
I figured you want to talk about it because you knew it was a good movie and you'd seen it before. And I'm like, oh,
No,
wow,
I
oh,
did. I
wow.
mean, I've seen like the memes of Gladiator where he's like, is there no one else? Like
Are
stuff
you
like
not entertained?
yeah, stuff like that. But I really didn't know. I knew Russell Crowe was in it. That was it. I knew Russell Crowe was a gladiator in a movie. I didn't know anything other than that.
Huh?
Besides the memes, what memes there are out there. But I'm glad I brought this one up because I had no idea it was this good.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's nice to have like a change of pace where I'm struggling to some shows of like I'm struggling to watch or like Rings of Power or whatever. But it's nice to see something that's like this is legitimately good. Like this, it's just good.
Yeah.
It's just a classic.
I mean, good 20 years ago, I mean, I'm not saying there weren't stinkers 20 years ago, but it felt like,
The bar was higher.
the bar was definitely higher 20 years ago than it has
Yeah.
been recently when it comes to TV shows, movies, and video games.
It just felt like I don't know that like there's a deeper philosophical question here, but it felt like stuff needed to be good. If it wasn't good and it wasn't well put together, nobody would go see it. And it felt like companies back then could fail. Now it feels like when companies put stuff out, they're just like hitting quotas and they're like so large they can't fail. That's what it feels like to me, at least. Like Disney just consistently is putting out like garbage. I don't care if there's anybody who likes Disney. I know Disney's in an uptick right now. I don't understand why, but like Disney just consistently for years now have just been putting out bad stuff after bad stuff, and it doesn't seem to be affecting them. Like I don't understand. Like if movies did that like 25 years ago, the company would just be out of business. I don't understand how companies like nowadays just they can just do whatever they want. They just like they still make money somehow. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like they haven't like the last good thing I liked from Disney was Infinity War.
Yeah, but it's not just you either. It's like nobody likes the stuff that's really coming from Disney. I mean, I think Inside Out is like well received, or it's like I think Inside Out is a Disney. Is that a Disney? That's a Disney product?
Yeah.
Is that Pixar?
Yeah.
Okay, so like there's Inside Out. I'm not saying that everything that comes out of Disney is bad, but it's like for every
the vast
7 or 8 movies that come out, there's one good one that makes money. I just don't understand how they companies like that can still continue to feel like they're thriving when movies back then, you make one stinker, that's it, you're done.
Even if you made a mediocre movie, you could be like,
yeah, you're done.
Because I mean, Disney technically is the owner of 20th Century Studios, or which is who put out the most recent Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And I didn't hate the movie. I didn't love it either. It was
but it's not Gladiator level.
Fine.
Like no, I feel like,
but I'm saying I'm giving an example of a mediocre movie. Like it wasn't great, okay. It wasn't bad, but that was just a mediocre movie could like tank a studio. It felt like better.
I feel like if that movie came out 25 years ago, that the movie that we just watched, it would have killed that studio. Whoever the heck made Planet of the Apes, the newest one, I feel like it would have killed it. Because it was just a fine movie. I wouldn't I didn't like it. I wouldn't recommend anybody to go see it, but we did watch it. So I don't know. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe we're part of the problem, David. I think we're part of the problem.
Oh man, we got a message in chat saying, I remember like yesterday when video games were like that, and you'd have to send in for a 3-inch floppy to apply a patch for a fix. I play some of the best games on the Amiga 500. Man, I've never personally had to patch a game from a floppy disk, but man, that sounds incredible. I mean, I've used floppy disks. A friend of mine lent me Star Wars chess. It was on like, I want to say 10 to 15 3-inch floppy disks. And it was like an hour-and-a-half process to install. And yeah, it wouldn't work. All of that in the game wouldn't even boot.
Oh no. So you didn't get to enjoy Star Wars chess?
I did not get to enjoy Star Wars chess. I loved battle chess back in the day, so I was like, man, this is going to be like battle chess, but with Star Wars. And I could never get it to play. And the person in chat,
things were different, man. That's just how it was.
Apparently I needed that floppy disk to fix the game. So it would launch another 3-inch floppy to fix the game.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy in chat said Star Wars chess was fun. You see, I missed out.
You missed out. You missed the boat, dude.
I missed out on Star Wars chess. Did you play battle chess? Because I love battle chess.
You missed out, dude. We gotta go back.
Dude, I gotta go back.
We need to go back to the future.
Did you like battle chess? Because I loved battle chess. I loved the queen. She had big boobs and she walked around sexy, and she would like mess people up. Man, the queen was awesome.
She did what queens did.
And then like the rook. The rook was like, it would turn into a rock monster and would pound things to death.
Do you think it holds up?
I mean, like, yeah, I think it would. I think it would hold up. Yeah.
Really, you think it would hold up?
I mean, Battle Chess is great. I mean, I would love to see like a modernized version of Battle Chess. I would like. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty sweet.
Game of the year.
Game of the year. I mean, might as well, right?
Yeah, they could.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap up Gladiator and get on to our next second. So, well, thank you for checking out.
Watching Gladiator.
Yeah.
Thank you for being part of the revolution and watching Gladiator, for allowing. Thank you to everybody who saw Gladiator that enabled the studio to make Gladiator 2. I haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. All we've seen is a trailer. I'm confident it's not good. That's my closing argument.
That's Brian's closing argument.
Go watch Gladiator 1. It's such a good movie.
It's such a good movie. All right. Well, thanks for checking us out, and we'll be back in probably 2 weeks to talk about some other film, because that's what we do, or a TV show. Who knows? But until next time, we'll catch you then. I've been David.
David at Synthaholics@yahoo.com.
Yeah, that's
I've been Marcus Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius.
Maximus Aurelius, whatever his name was.
Don't kill me. I'm Commodus. So wait, no, I'd be the one killing you in that case. But
yeah,
anyway.
God, get it right, dude.
All right. Until next time, we'll see you.